Hello everybody, welcome to the ITEACH Skills channel. My name is Aiden. In today's video, we have an exciting lab for you, and the lab is going to be about implementing virtual networking. This is the comprehensive lab, and it's actually very important to Azure. With anything on Azure, it requires virtual network, and you need to be able to learn how to do this, how to create a custom virtual networking. And so we are going to assume as a Contoso administrator we're responsible for creating and implementing virtual networks. We're going to create two virtual networks, either from GUI and also from Azure Resource Template. And so that's what we're going to do. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to create a virtual network called Shared Service Network, Shared Service Virtual Network, DB Virtual Network, and so on. So we're going to create a lot. We're going to create a virtual network for subnets within the portal, within using the template, and configure communication between application security group and the network security group, NSG and ASG. We're going to configure public and private DNS zones. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to search for virtual networks. We're going to open virtual network. So when you open the virtual network, unless you have created something before or you deployed the resource before, it will be blank, which is expected. So we're going to create a new. And right now we don't have any resource group. The subscription is the same. If you have multiple subscription, you can hit drop down menu. So we're going to hit create new. And we're going to type in the virtual network resource group. In this case, it's going to be AZ104RG, RG4, resource group 4. And then now the most important thing, the virtual network name. What is the name we're going to be naming it? We're going to name this one core service VNet. Okay, next. We're not done. Next to the IP addresses. So to the IP addresses, we have a couple things going on here, and we need to make sure everything's there. But before that, we need to also make sure that we define our network, our virtual network, where it's gonna reside. So I'm leaving mine in East US, but yours you could be whatever you located or close to you in terms of Azure region. So next, we're gonna go ahead supply an address subnet or address space. So address space that we're going to supply is going to be 10.20.0.16. That's what is going to be what our address space is going to be for this. So that's our address space. It still give us like 65,000 addresses, which is fine. Now that we did this, we're not done. We're gonna add a subnet. The first subnet is going to be called. It's gonna be subnet purpose default, but the name is going to be shared service subnet with the address space of 10 20 10 0. That's what's gonna be the address space, and everything is fine. We're not gonna change anything else. There's a lot of customization. We'll leave it by default right now, and it's gonna be slash 24, which is gonna give us 256 addresses. So hit add. The next thing we're gonna add is another subnet. We're going to add another subnet by the name of database subnet, and the name database subnet address space 10 20 20 20 0. And then we're gonna hit add as well. Perfect. So we added our two subnets. We added the database subnet and then the shared service subnet. Okay. We now gonna hit create, review and create, and then that's it. It should validate, and if it's good, it's gonna create. If it's not good, we will have to fix that mistake or error. So here's all the information. We disable firewall, DDoS attack protection, Bashten. We disable a lot, and we just create it with default. So hit create. Okay, so now that it's getting created, we're gonna go ahead and wait for this to be all completed. All right, so now that it's created and it's ready, we're gonna go to resources. We're gonna click on under resources. We can verify the address specified by going to the settings and then address spaces. Here's the address spaces we have. It shows you the subnets we created here. Pretty much everything is here. And if we have DDoS protection enabled here, and also bash and if we enabled here. So now we're gonna click on minimizing this. We're gonna click on automation. And under automation, we're gonna export template. We're gonna export template as ARM, Azure ARM template. If we could do a bicep or Terraform. So let's go ahead and export the Azure ARM template. Here is everything the template says, whatever we just configure right now. And then we're gonna also export the parameter. Okay, so I guess everything is good now. We got everything we needed. So now let's come over here to open those files. Now this is the most important thing is we're gonna modify this to where it can actually be good. So the template is there. All right, so now we are there. We download the template. We're gonna need to edit this on a file editor. We're probably gonna need to actually open it with Notepad. I know it's not a good tool, but it's actually may do the job for us here. So let's find Control F. Okay, under Notepad, we need to find anything that basically we need to basically find anything that is not necessarily renamed. So we're going to need to rename from core service VNet to manufacturer VNet. So we're going to need to do a control find, control F, and then we're going to search for everything that begins with core service VNet, which is this. Okay. If we go ahead and just search for, there's a lot of places mentioned, which is perfectly fine. We're going to replace this too with manufacturing VNet. So everything will be replaced. So let's do control replace. So everything is replaced. Perfect. Now we are not done. We also need to replace any IP that's occurring with 10, 10, 20 with something else. So let's just come over here, search, copy this IP. We're going to paste it in the search, and then we're going to replace it with 10, 30, 0, 0. That's what we're going to replace it with. So again, there's a lot. There should be a lot. If we go down, even before replacing it, if you go down, we're going to see a bunch of them here, bunch of occurrences. So we're going to just come over here, replace all. So that's all done. We're not done. Still, we're going to have to do the next thing, which is going to replace the shared service with sensor subnet 1. So that's what we're going to need to replace. So shared service subnet is we're going to replace this name. There's probably going to be Notepad++ that's better for this or another tool, but Notepad++ is currently Not the best tool because there's a lot of vulnerability going on. And plus, we just need to do this real quick. And so I don't see any harm in using Notepad, regular Notepad. So here again, we got a lot of occurrences for this. So we're going to need to go ahead and actually replace all. All right. All right. So now we also need to replace any subnet that is going to begin with 10 20 10, which is right here. We're going to replace this with 10 30. We're going to replace with 10 30 20. Again, before we do anything, we search for it, make sure it's there. We got a couple occurrences, which is fine. Then hit replace. All right, we're close now. We got to do the same thing for the database subnet. Instead of database subnet, we have to change it to something else. In this case, sensor 2. So the database subnet should be to sensor 2. Again, same thing. Double check. We don't have a whole lot. We just got a couple. We're going to replace it that. Everything is done in that sense. Finally, we're going to replace the 10 20 20 address, 10 20 20 address to 10 20 10 30 21 address, which is here. Okay, and this is the last one. Again, if you want to, you can always find out how many addresses, just one place. Hit replace. Okay, perfect. All right, so now that everything is good, we're gonna hit save to save our changes. We're gonna locate the parameter and we're gonna change it something in the parameter as well. So let's go ahead to the file, open a new tab in Notepad. I do like that feature. They made it a little bit modern. Okay, so now we're gonna need to go to downloads, all files, parameter. We need to change this from coordinate to manufacturing. So let's highlight this. All right, so that is done. We also save this. All right, perfect. So that is good. We changed a lot. We are in business now. So now we need to go ahead and deploy a template within Azure portal. So let's just duplicate the tab for a second. So on the deploy template, all right, so now that on the custom template deployment. We need to build our own template with the editor. We're gonna upload file. We're gonna go to downloads, click on templates. Okay, so everything is good here. Checks out clearly. Okay, so now we're gonna hit save. And then once we hit save, we should be able to also take a look at the parameter as well. It's set to the proper thing. So we should be perfectly fine. So now we're gonna put this under RG4. Okay. Okay, so now that we're there, we're gonna need to review and create. So if all goes well, we should be able to create this without a problem. As long as we don't have overlap or Notepad didn't screw us over with the changes. All right, we're now creating when we're waiting for this to happen. Okay, so that's a good sign. Perfect. We're successful in that. Now, if we go to resources, we see our new subnets. We have two of them, core manufacturing VNet and core VNet. So if I click on manufacturing VNet and click on the settings, I can see the subnets created. Sensor 1, sensor 2. I can see there's no device connected right now, but I can also see address spaces. And I also can take, again, the automation copy and stuff. So that's good. That's how to create a subnets with Azure ARM and using the GUI. The next thing now we need to take a look at is going to be actually messing with Azure Application Security Gateway, ASG, which is very important. So we're going to create an application security group and we're going to configure it. So we're going to go home. We're going to search for application security group, ASG. We're going to open application security group. From application security group, we're going to hit create. We're going to go ahead and go with the usual RG4. The name is going to be ASG Web. And then it's going to be in the East Coast region, which is fine. We're going to hit review and create. That's how you create the ASG. We need to configure it and you can do a lot more things after that. But right now, we're just creating it and that's pretty much it. And this is what the application security group looks like. It's not configuring anything. There's not anything going on with it right now. That's just simply right there. Later on, we can add additional things. We can link it and whatnot. So if I refresh it right now, there's nothing. Next thing we need to do is actually create a network security group. So let's come over here to NSG is for short for network security group. So we're going to type search for, we're going to go home, search for network security group. So on the network security group, we don't have anything at all, which we want to go ahead, create a new one. So hit create, go to the, put in the same resource group, AZ104RG4, and then we're going to name this my NSG secure. Basic name, basic for testing and making quick videos here. But if you are doing this on production, you want to go with your naming convention. So we're going to hit review and create. It's created now. It should be created in a second. Now we're going to go to the resources under NSG. Under settings, we have option for subnets. But before we do anything on the settings, you can see that this is the overview of everything. And this is pretty much where everything is configured. And this is all the ports, the default ports. We cannot delete these default ports. let's just say if you want to override anything, we have to create a new policy or inbound rule or outbound rule and with a lower priority. The priority setting is important. So if it's lower priority, it's going to be passed first. So that's what we need to do. So now we're going to click on the setting on the subnets, associate. We're going to associate the virtual network core VNet, and then we're also going to associate the shared subnet. So we got this core VNet, and then we're going to associate shared subnets to the MIN network security group. So we're going to hit OK. We create this in the beginning, as you notice, with a GUI. So that's what we did. And now that it's did that, we just need to now do the same thing with application security group. But before we do that, all right. So now in the settings, we're gonna go back to do the same thing for the application security group, but we need to configure inbound and outbound, security rules within the NSG. That's what we need to do. So let's come over here to NSG, like I talked about it here. We're gonna add a new inbound rule, and this is gonna be for the application security group we just created recently. So we're gonna add a rule. The source is going to be application security group. Okay, or you can do any if you or IP address, whatever you want, or service tag. Okay, and the source is that, and then application source application security group is going to be ASG web, which we did create it, and then in the destination, the source ports are going to be nothing, and the destination is going to be any, and then on the custom is fine, and then we're going to do this custom ports 80 comma 443, the two web ports. Okay, and then we're going to do TCP port, and we're going to name this rule, name the rule allow ASG, and it's going to be set to allow. That's how we can create it. If we have description, we can add a description, but right now that's all we're doing. And again, application security group, the name of application security group, the source is nothing, any wildcard, destination is any, custom, those ports, and then hit add. All right, this is set to 100, so that means it's gonna take over priority. Anything that's set to 65,000, they're gonna be the last to work. So that's one of the reasons why Azure don't want to conflict with anything, so they let those ports to be higher priority. Next thing we're gonna need to do is create an outbound security rule. So we're gonna come over here to the outbound, and then we're gonna need to we're gonna see a lot of outbound ports as well. Also, they're default, so there's nothing we can do. So we're gonna need to create our own outbound rule. That's gonna be lower priority. So we're gonna hit add. It's gonna be any for the source. It's gonna be source port is gonna be nothing. Destination is gonna be service tag, and then it's gonna be intranet. It's gonna be custom here, and it's going to be destination port is going to be also any or wildcard, basically any for any ports that is available. Protocol is going to be any, and then it's going to be deny port, and then we're going to also make this port priority 496, 4096, and then it's going to be named deny internet outbound. So we don't have internet outbound available. We're denying it. So anything that's for the internet is going to be denied. We can also deny other things that's in the service tag, but right now it's internet. So everything is good. Hit then add. So this is gonna take over priority right now because everything else is Internet outbound is allowed, but because this is the higher port, it's not going to work. This is going to work. The deny is going to work. Next thing is going to be DNS. So we're going to go home. We're going to type in DNS zones. We're going to create a new DNS zone. Okay, the instance detail is going to be the name of it's going to be contoso.com. In this case, it's not available, so we're going to call it contoso.org because contoso.com is definitely not going to be available. We're just doing this for a lab, so it looks like it's available, and we want that. So let's come over here. We're going to hit next for the zone editor. So here, we're going to need to basically click on review and create, but we can also do something else. But just before we create it, this is going to be set to East US. And we can also check this box. This is the child zone, whatever. But right now, everything is good. So we're going to hit review and create. We're not editing anything specific. And it's going to be passing the validation. It's going to create. Contoso.org is created. All right. So now that it's created, everything is looking like we're getting closer to the finale here. We're going to go to the resources, and then we're going to see the overview over here, what's going on. This is where all the DNS set record is. This is the name server. We can actually, do add a random record just to test it and see. So we're gonna go to DNS management. We're gonna click on record sets, and then we're gonna go ahead add. We're gonna name this one www for the name or value, and then it's gonna be type A record for link into IP address. Time to live is gonna be 1 hour. It's gonna be 10.1.1.4, and that's how we added a record, a simple point A record, and then we're gonna hit add, and that record is added. It has TTL of 1 hour. So now we can go ahead to NS lookup and then type in contoso.org. Contoso.org. Then dot 1.1.4. So I could probably adjust the TTL, and this could make it to where it's actually a bit faster if I want to. We can do like a TTL of 1 second, and then this will be getting things done. But again, the point is we can create the record, change anything we want to, and so on. So now So it looks like it's actually gonna be okay over there. Now, next thing we're gonna do is create a private DNS zone. So we're gonna go ahead and type in private DNS zone. We're gonna hit create. Subscription is gonna be the same. A resource group is AZ104RG4, and then it's gonna be private.contoso.org. Okay, and we're gonna hit review and create. We're gonna once it's finished creating, we're gonna go to resources. We're gonna configure. We're gonna link this to the manufacturing, and then we're gonna be done. So overall, that's all we needed to do, and that's obviously it's a longer lab, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you learned something. We are definitely trying to get you all the bells and whistles for the certification. So it's not gonna be it's not gonna go anywhere without you guys having to do this on your own. So I recommend you guys, spin up a demo and try to follow along and have fun doing this. This is exciting learning journey. So let's do this first before we go ahead. So we're gonna have option to go ahead and actually on the private DNS zone, we're gonna go to record set, same thing, or we can link to virtual network. So if we come to virtual network links, we can hit add. We're gonna name it manufacturing link, and then resource group is gonna be located in the East region, or we can actually, in this case, we're gonna just say manufacturing VNet. That's what we're gonna link to. Okay, that's all we do. We're not doing anything special. No auto registration, nothing. We're gonna hit create. Once it's done creating, which is still working on right now, we're gonna create a DNS record as well, and that's what we're gonna do. So it's done creating it. Now it's still in process on the link status because it's got to do a lot. Yeah, link status is complete now, or is it? Yeah, it's completed now. So now we're gonna go to record set. We're gonna add a new record. We're gonna name this one sensor VM. Sensor VM. TTL is gonna be 1, and it's gonna be IP address of 10.1.1.4. Hit add. So yeah, so that's it. In the real world, we're gonna enter our actual IP address for the private DNS and everything else. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and delete the resources that we don't use anymore with Azure PowerShell. You don't need to see that one, but if you do, it's simply you just come over here to the Azure CLI. We're gonna do PowerShell. We're not gonna mount storage. We're gonna come over here to this and we're gonna apply. I don't want to create a storage. Actually, let's come over here. Previous, no storage account, apply. That should not have to create a storage. So once this PowerShell comes up, we just type in AZ command. remove AZ resource group and the resource group name, and then that's it. We're gonna delete everything and it's gonna be gone. But again, that's it, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like if you haven't liked the video, and make sure the algorithm knows that other people can help out, get help by these videos. Take care. Have a good day.